Hey Scott, you guys clinched a spot in the play-in tournament tonight. After all that you went through this season, the COVID outbreak, the injuries, 15 games under 500, just what does it mean to get to this point, this accomplishment?
It's a great feeling for for everybody involved, our entire organization. We chipped away and we were down, took a bunch of punches, but we just kept standing back up and fighting for one another, and it put us in this position. And Brad and Russell led us and continue to instill that fighting spirit. No matter what happens to you, you still got to go out and compete. Then trust me, there was times where it was, when we came back 4 or 5 games, and it was, it was hard, but we fought, we battled, and we didn't let it get us down where we couldn't celebrate the little steps that we were going to work on to make. But it was a great win. We're not satisfied. We still got one more game to go. We're disappointed that we didn't get a game or two on that last in Atlanta, but we bounced back, and it's always hard when you're on a long road trip to come back that first game. And but I tell you what, our guys gutted it out and played. Rollo did a great job coming in, because when we got the lead, we were bleeding a little bit, and they made a little run, but his hook shot was what the doctor ordered during that stretch. But a lot of guys played well.
And along the way, I'm sure there were times where you guys felt like you couldn't point to certain things as excuses or make excuses. How tough were kind of the lowest moments of this season when you guys couldn't really convey it to the media?
Well, I'm a pretty optimistic guy. I believe in just doing things the right way, and you get rewarded. And that was the hardest part, because we did everything the right way and did not get rewarded. And we got hit pretty hard. Like I said many times, the hardest thing, is to not see your players for 10 straight days, basically, and then come back and practice for just 7 or 8 guys, and then go on a tough 3-game trip, and then have this 7 of the, I think it was 7 guys coming back like 3 weeks later for their first game. I knew that there was going to be some lingering effects to that. I didn't know exactly what it is. You read about all the things that people go through when they do get COVID. But like I said, I give our guys a lot of credit, because I've been in the league a long time. And when you're 15 games under 500, you're doing okay, where are we going for vacation? But we hung in there and fought back and stuck together. And teams, this is adversity helps. Adversity helps. Even those last 2 losses, those are playoff losses, and we came back and bounced back, and we won tonight. But I'm proud of our guys all season, the way they stepped up, and never, ever, not one time, they made an excuse, and I didn't think they would either.
Fred?
Hey, Scott. You played a lineup tonight with Russell, 3 power forwards, and Robin. Where'd you pull that one out of?
I've been doing that all year. I've been thinking out of the box all year, playing 3 centers, playing 3 point guards. You just do what you have, and you don't make an excuse, and you figure out ways to stay competitive. And then if you do that enough and you get some confidence, and then you can grow and add and kind of move things around and make it difficult for teams. Let's face it, we got 2 really high level players, both all NBA players. And then we got really a lot of good role players that understand what they do. And we got a couple of, we got some young players that are getting better, and they're pretty consistent for being young players. But tonight's lineup, both teams had some lineups out there that was interesting at times.
And I'm sure you would love to get up to 8th if you could, because you get in the double elimination scenario. But if you guys go into Sunday in a scenario where it's only 9th or 10th, how do you prioritize home court in a play-in versus maybe getting some extra rest going into that scenario for your guys?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're worried about the extra rest. This time of the year, I mean, I think it's kind of, I don't know if the right word is, it doesn't make a lot of sense. What's a day or two extra? We've been battling and scrambling and fighting and clawing and we're tired. I know, I'm sure at times our players are tired. I'm sure the whole league is tired. We're all tired. It's the hardest year of probably all of our lives, just all the things that we had to go through, and the COVID testing, the late, we're going to have a late one tomorrow night, and then we got another one next morning early. So it's, we want to just play good basketball. We hope that, Brad keeps improving. Don't know what that means. I haven't even talked to the guys after his evaluation tonight. But there's another, 36 hours before we have to make a decision there. But if he's ready, great. If he's not, we move on to the next game, Tuesday night. No matter where it's at, we got to show up and compete and give ourselves a chance to win. You do that by playing hard and playing for your teammates. You do that, you get a chance, no matter who you have on the floor. I know there's times that we didn't do it as well as I would have liked, but we've been on a nice stretch of really competing.
Ava.
Kind of along those same lines, I understand that at a certain point you don't have much of a choice, but with a guy like Anthony Gill, what makes you trust that he's going to, you can kind of stick him in any situation and he's going to play like he does? He seems to play with a ton of poise.
Yeah, I'll give Tommy Shepard all the credit. He's been telling me about that young man for last year and for 2 years. And he just said, man, this guy will fit us. He's like the perfect culture guy. He works hard, great guy, will always be ready and a really good player that, he's obviously had great experience in college and then plays at high level overseas. But I'll be honest, that's funny. I even talked to him a couple of days ago. I said, man, the first month I thought I was better than you. And there was times that he struggled. But I tell you what, he just kept playing, and then it starts growing on you, and then you just see it every day. And it's not like it's not fake. And that guy is cheering his teammates on. He's in every huddle. He locks into every play and every timeout just in case that I might make a sub after the huddle breaks. And then he started playing better in practice, and then he threw him in the game, and then he, unfortunately we lost that game in Toronto where he took the huge charge and he missed a couple of shots, but that gave me more confidence and the team confidence. You know what he is? He's a winning basketball player that does a lot of winning things that don't really show up in the stat sheet, but you need in your locker room and you need on your bench and you need in your huddle and you need on the court. Like tonight, I thought his minutes were a big part of our win. But I'm happy for him. His family, his newborn. He's a great representative for our team, and he's an NBA player, and Tommy nailed it. He really nailed it. I can't say enough good things about him.
And what made you want to put Chandler in the starting lineup?
I think we needed some size. We tried to throw some size at Sexton. He's tough, strong. He has a good name. Is it Young Bull? That guy, he gets in there and battles and competes, and they got a good one. And we wanted to put some size on him and try to frustrate him a little bit. Thought we did a pretty good job. Yeah, they made some threes that kept them hanging around, but we pulled away with some good defensive stops in that third quarter. It's kind of like almost mirrored the same game at their place. It was a close halftime, and in the third quarter we pulled away.
Alex. Hey Scott, you talked about the emotions and what it means to make the play, and especially after all the adversity. What was it like in the locker room? What were the players saying in there? How was the feeling, and how would you describe that?
It was great. It was great. I mean, they threw a bunch of water on Russell again, and because the last time it was a tie, now this time they break him. I just said, hey, we can't keep drenching Russell every time he breaks his own record. That's going to come. I mean, we're going to have mold issues in our locker room with the carpet. But it was exciting. It was an exciting moment for us. I mean, I don't even think we talked about much about the play-in. And then, but it was a good moment for after the game. Ariel, she handles a lot of our digital, and she will be leaving, and we kind of gave her a couple of things, and guys were happy for her. But it was a good moment through a lot of tough things that we had to go through this year. And COVID's no fun. Testing 1 hour once a day. And then they gave us a little bit of a break the last month. You got 2 hours twice a day to get out from your room on the road. All those things just add up and it wears you down. But it's well worth it by us staying together and fighting for one another and getting an opportunity to play in the postseason.
And a follow up real quick, where do you kind of see you guys as a threat in the East? If you make it through the play, and if you get into a series, whoever the Nets or whoever else you might end up, Sixers, whoever it is, if Beal's coming in healthy, where do you see your guys' ceiling heading into the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to jump too far ahead. We're just going to focus on just enjoy a day off tomorrow and get some treatments and get your body and mind right and focus on Charlotte Sunday. And after that, we got to focus on wherever we are and whoever we play. And we'll worry about that. We know we can compete against any team in this league. But it's going to be, obviously it's tougher without having Brad. Hopefully Brad is out soon or back in the lineup soon. Because we obviously know that we're a much better team when we're healthy, and Brad's a all NBA player, and he's been missed the last 3 games, but it was nice for us to get an opportunity to win tonight at home and put ourselves in a position to play after the season's over.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Ben?
Hey, Coach. I guess you just said you don't want to look too far ahead, but just generally speaking, what's your philosophy in terms of shortening rotations in the playoffs? And do you expect that to apply that in the play-in situation?
Yeah, I mean, there's probably going to be some tightening up, or if guys maybe not playing as many minutes. But that's going to be, a feel thing, a health thing, foul trouble thing, matchup. There's all kinds of things that you have to think about, and our staff will be thinking about all those things. We love to get everybody back and ready to play and healthy, but like I said, How and Brad are important to what we do. They're tough, they're shot makers, they're gamers, and Brad is potentially could be the leading scorer in the league or top 2 for sure. But we just focus on this. We're going to focus on Charlotte first before we start thinking about anything else. I'm just glad that we're in this position because we stayed together, and I couldn't be more happier for the guys, and because it's they've been through a lot, like we all have.
Last question to Karita.
Hey, Coach, you've talked about the season, obviously, and how it went. But when you look back, what would you say was the turning point that got you all back on track and able to be in this position?
I think the mental toughness of the group. I mean, you're a lot of times nothing was normal for any of the players, or probably you guys feel the same way. Got your family, and we have our family, and we also have our basketball family. So we kind of had a little bit of a break there. But I think the turning point was that we never used it as an excuse. And I'm always I have eyes and ears on the group and try to get the pulse of the group. And the sense anything was ever changing from that area. I don't believe in making excuses. I believe in just doing what you need to do and take care of business the best that you can, and whatever's thrown at you, that's just another opportunity to embrace it and challenge yourself to overcome it and enjoy the competition of having things thrown against you. And I thought we did that throughout this season. Like I said, there's a lot of lonely times because of all this. You know, usually I've been in the league for 30 years. You got certain places when you're on the road, visit family. I think I've been in half the team, so I have friends that were once ball boys that are like brothers to me, and you don't get to see those. And then families on our team, they've had families in just about every city. You don't get to see that, but we stuck together, and like I said, I couldn't be more proud of